So hello YouTube, welcome back to another market weekly outlook. It's CalFX here and I'm back with another one. I hope you guys really had a very good week, and I mean we're just at the end of January. This actually marks the first month of course of 2024. So I hope you guys were able to have a good start of 2024. I mean, if you didn't understand that nothing is lost, right? So we still have a lot to go this year. So there is a lot of improvements, a lot of good trades that we can still take, right? So this was just it was just another month, right? It was just 1 month, and it's nothing. We can still do better, improve, and make sure we. I mean, the goal is just to make sure we end the year, in the right foot. So we still have a lot to do, a lot to go. So I mean, I really hope you guys had a great week. I personally had a very good week. Just consistent as always, just doing the same thing over and over again. And I didn't forget about you guys. I will still upload videos. It's just been having a lot of network problems in my country. So sometimes I try to upload a video, even breakdowns for the people on the on the private mentorship. Sometimes I upload and they stop, at the like in the middle of it. But so far I think my network is really coming back to it. So I'm gonna upload the really nice videos this week on YouTube. I'm gonna discuss basically some of the trades that I've called on my one-on-one with a few students. So I mean, it will just be a very good for a lot of people to see also that it's very possible for you to scalp while you have your 9 to 5, right? So I'm gonna leave that for the videos I'll drop this week. So let's just hop into the outlook. Now today, as always, we're gonna start from Euro USD, and let's just quickly look from the monthly time frame. There is something quite interesting going on. I mean, if we look at from the other sources, right, from other broker feeds, we can see that Euro USD actually tapped a yearly bullish order block. Now, if we look at the monthly still says that the structure is bearish. So we want to follow what the monthly is also telling us. For me to be really full long-term buys, I need to see the monthly turn from from bearish to bullish. So up to this point, price came around 50% of this range high and low. So we have this supply zone. We drop down to the weekly time frame. So when we come to weekly time frame, we can see that we have this nice weekly change of character right here. So price tapped the supply zone, gave us a weekly change of character, and came back. And we can see that the weekly supply zone actually is holding, right? We just had this price coming. We have this huge rejection of higher prices, and now we're seeing price coming all the way down, right? So this is just a good confirmation that this monthly supply zone is holding, as well as the weekly supply holding. So sellers are still in control, right, from the higher time frame. Now we drop down to the daily time frame. Daily, I mean, there is not much we can see. I mean, we can see this change of character, right? This little, had a push down, then this less down candle before the up move, and then we have a change of character. So I like to look at it from the 4-hour time frame, because we have more details here. So if you look at from the 4-hour, we had this major change of character. Once price tapped that weekly supply zone, we had this daily / 4-hour change of character. Price pulled back. It didn't mitigate what was actually the catalyst for the change of character. So it just pulled back and started to build liquidity. We have this relative equal highs, and then price broke structure again. Now, what I was expected to see, from last week, I wanted to see price coming all the way up, taking out these equal highs to tap this supply zone, and then we have this major push to the downside. But I was also monitoring the supply zone, because sometimes price can just have some sort of reaction here, and as a scalper, I mean, these reactions can really provide good selling opportunities right here. So I mean, we did catch during the week some nice selling opportunities here on EU, just scalping opportunities, but we can see the price came into this supply and actually reacted, I mean, respected the supply and pushed all the way down. So it came into this, some people may say this is like a demand zone. We have this nice reaction. I believe this was news and push price up. But if you come down, for example, to the 1-hour time frame, we can see that price, let me just use the M30. So we had this change of character right here at first, right? So price comes to that 4-hour supply zone. We have this break, this medium time frame change of character. Price then comes back into the, the decisional up candle before the down move, right? So price comes back to mitigate, then break structure again. So we have another break of structure right here on the medium time frame, and price just came back and provided that mitigation, right? So price came, mitigated, and now we're expecting to see price come all the way down to take out the M30 previous low. So looking at it from the higher time frame, everything is bearish, right? We just even looking from the monthly, weekly, we come to 4-hour, and then medium time frame is bearish. So right here, once we have this M30 in bearish, what I want to do next is drop down to lower time frame and look for sales, right? So that's what I will be looking for when the market opens. I'll be monitoring the reaction here. So once, if price is still pushing all the way down during London, I will look for sales all the way down, to that weekly, monthly previous low. But if not, price may decide to come all the way up, right? Breaking this M15, then that's where we can maybe change our bias. But I would only like to change my bias from bearish to bullish once price violates this supply zone right here that is respected first. So up to this point, the medium time frame, higher time frame, everything is bearish. So we are supposed to look for sales on the lower time frames, right? So let's move to the next pair. So the next pair is Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar, we're gonna look at it from the monthly as well. I mean, the overall higher time frame intention is absolutely clear. I mean, if you look at it from the monthly time frame, we can also see we had this beautiful break of structure, mitigation, second break of structure, mitigation at this extreme supply zone, and now we're seeing price pushing all the way down. So my expectation is to see Aussie dollar continue to push all the way down, taking out this monthly low. That's the higher time frame intention. So we drop down to the weekly to understand what's going on within that monthly range, and we can see that the weekly is also, everything is bearish, right? We had this nice price action break, price pulls back just to build inducement, then comes all the way, sweeps the inducement into the unmitigated supply zone. We have a break, mitigation, break, and now this mitigation right here, and now we're seeing price to make its way towards this weekly previous low, right? So now within this weekly range, we want to understand what's going on daily and 4-hour, right? So that's how you basically do your top down analysis. Very simple. So if you look, for example, what's going on the 4-hour is price had tapped that weekly / daily supply zone. We had this nice 4-hour change of character, price mitigated supply zone, started to push all the way down. We have this nice break, mitigation, then break. So price left this supply zone unmitigated. Actually, that's what I was expecting to see, Aussie dollar coming all the way up and then continue the move to the downside, right? So this is just on the 4-hour. Now we drop down to medium time frame, which is the M30. We want to understand, okay, what's going on? So on the medium time frame, we're actually having a shift in structure, right? From bearish to bullish, which signifies that maybe price is doing a pullback towards that 4-hour supply zone above. So we look at this break, and then price comes back, to mitigate this, anything right here. It can be a demand zone, and then we have a break of structure. Price tapped this demand, started to respect. I mean, we started to see this push, but eventually, I mean, it seems like price is losing, its strength right here. We're seeing a lot of reluctance because price could have just pushed all the way up, but also this can be inducement build up right here, right? Because we have relative equal highs. Price can come, maybe sweep a low, come all the way to, for example, to this unmitigated. So let me just refine to this order block right here. So we have a beautiful order block, and look at all this ton of liquidity that is being built right here. So price can just sweep this low, come into this demand zone right here. So we have that sweep of the lows, and then it push all the way up, grabbing these equal highs and going all the way up to our 4-hour supply zone. So that's what I'm gonna be waiting for once the market opens. I want to see the reaction that it's gonna have at this demand zone, because we might have that strong push into this demand, and then we have that major pull back towards the 4-hour, so we can have the overall continuation to the downside, which is the higher time frame intention on Aussie dollar, right? So that's it for AU. Let's move to the next pair. So GU, also let's look at it from the monthly time frame just to understand the overall picture. So I need you guys to always make sure you do this exercise. Start from the monthly. You don't have to stay there, but just start from the monthly just to get the overall picture, right? It's very, very important because all of these time frames, they come together, right? So we have this break, mitigation, then a break and mitigation. So price comes into this supply zone, we see price coming, and then we have this huge reaction right here with this, some people call it, believe pin bar or the doji, right? So we have this nice reaction in this supply zone. We drop down, for example, to the weekly time frame. We want to understand what's really going on right here, and we have this beautiful weekly change of character. So price gave us this weekly change of character, respected the monthly supply, weekly change of character, and we see the supply is still being respected up to this point. So price comes to my weekly. What am I looking for? Daily / 4 hour change of character, right? That's what basically I'm looking for. And if we go to 4 hour, for example, price actually gave us a nice 4 hour change of character, right? So we had this major swing high, swing low, then swing high. We have this change of character, this break of structure right here. And I'm expecting to see, price now kind of gave like a 2 breaks to the downside, and it came to this supply zone where we're seeing the reaction right here so far. I was expecting also for price to come maybe into this high, sweeping, using this high as inducement to come into this supply zone, and then we have that major push to the downside. So if you come, for example, to medium time frame, let me use the M30, right? We can see something quite interesting that happened once price tapped that 4 hour supply. So price tapped our 4 hour supply zone. What do we have on the medium time frame? Change of character, correct? So then price comes all the way up, right, into this supply zone right here, right? So we had the change of character, price started to pull back. So we can see how price engineers inducement, right? Because we had this major, this was the catalyst move that started that change of character and was left unmitigated. So price ended up coming to the decisional, but then eventually pushed all the way up into the extreme, and now we're seeing the push all the way down. So on the lower time frame, what I'm just looking for is selling opportunities, right? I'm gonna be looking for selling opportunities right here to write the price down. So it's gonna be a sell as part of the continuation, the bearish continuation to the downside, and it's all in alignment with the overall higher time frame intention, which is bearish, right? So we're seeing basically how starting from the monthly, we come all the way to medium time frame, and we already know what to look for now on the lower time frame. So everything is coming together, the higher time frame, the medium time frame, and the lower time frame. Okay, so that's it for GU. Let's go into the next pair. So New Zealand dollar, we're going to start it from the monthly time frame as well, and just to have that breakdown from the higher time frame, right? So if we look at what's going on the higher time frame, is that we had this beautiful break of structure on the monthly, mitigation, then break of structure, mitigation, and now we're seeing New Zealand dollar coming all the way down to take out this monthly previous low. So very, very important. Now let's see what's going on within this monthly range. We go to the weekly time frame. Very simple. So on the weekly, we're seeing the same price action as we had on Aussie dollar, right? We had that break, pull back, then price comes down, then uses this high as inducement to come to the mitigated supply zone. We have a break, mitigation, break, price comes into this extreme supply zone. Now we're seeing price pushing all the way down. So the main idea now is to take out this weekly low as well as this low right here, and then later on the monthly low, right? So that's the relationship of the time frames. Now we want to see what's going on within this weekly range. We can drop down to 4 hour / daily, right? We can go to daily 4 hours. So let me use the 4 hour time frame. Now on the 4 hour time frame, once price tapped that that daily right here, this weekly daily supply zone, we see this 4 hour break of structure, this change of character, price comes back into this order block and started to push all the way down, right? So same thing with Aussie dollar. Then we have this break, mitigation, break, and there's a lot of imbalances right here at the top. So I was expecting price to come all the way up and then continue to move all the way down. But price also created another break of structure right here on the 4 hour. So we had this minor structure right here, this low, high, and then low. Price now came back into that 4 hour, right, to do the mitigation. And now we're seeing price coming down. Now this is the 4 hour, so all the way from the monthly all the way to 4 hour, that's like our higher time frame. Now we want to get into the medium time frame. We want to understand, okay, what's going on. So let's drop down to the M30 time frame. So on the M30 time frame, it's very clear to see that the structure right here is absolutely bearish, right? We had this change of character. Price came back to the POI, this decisional, that was responsible for the change of character on the medium time frame, and then we had the break of structure. Price came back to this week, right, because he had swept liquidity up and then engineered the move to take out this low. So price came back, respected, and broke structure again. So we have a third break of structure and a confirmation of bearish order flow on the medium time frame. So what I will be looking for maybe is to see if price is gonna come to some of these supply zones right here. So maybe we can have a mitigation. Once price comes back, we drop down to lower time frame, we look for our chalks, everything, right? We're gonna look for our entry models right there to sell all the way down. So we can see that everything is aligned from the monthly all the way to medium time frame, and now we know what to wait for before we drop down to lower time frame. That's why I always recommend when you have a daily break of structure or 4 hour break of structure, don't jump straight to lower time frame to look for entries. Make sure you come down to medium time frame, wait for that M15 structure shift. It's a layers of confirmation, but it's going to make your trades of high probability, right? So that's it for New Zealand dollar. Let's move to the next page. Now our next pair today is going to be USD CAD. I'm not going to look at UJ because UJ, the price action is not very clear to me. I mean, I really don't like the way, you know, UJ is moving off now. I mean, it's a pair that I really like, but right now it's not moving the way I want it. So if we look at it from the monthly USD CAD, we can see the bearish structure right here. We had this break right here. Price comes back to mitigate this supply zone. I mean, the extremity, right? And then we have another break of structure, and price comes into this monthly supply zone, and we see that price is respecting that supply zone, right? So we expect price to come all the way down on USD CAD, all the way down to this monthly previous low. Now we drop down to the daily, right, to the daily time frame. I mean, we can even drop like to the weekly time frame. I believe weekly is much better. We can see that we also had the structure shift on the weekly. So we had this break, then price comes back right here. You use this highs inducement, so it swept liquidity into this extreme supply zone, and now we're seeing price coming all the way down. So once we have that, for example, we can drop down to the daily time frame to see what's going on. So on the daily, I mean, let me just use the 4 hour. I believe it's much clearer right here. So on the 4 hour time frame, we had this beautiful break of structure. I mean, we just have this mitigation play right here. Break, price comes back to mitigate, break, price comes back to mitigate, then break, price came back to mitigate this whole zone right here. So once price comes to this 4 hour, what I'm looking for, medium time frame, right? So we can drop down to now to medium to M30, right? We can drop down to M30 time frame. We can see that, I mean, it's so much going on right here. So we just had this major swing structure, right? We had this high, low, high, and then major break of structure. Price comes back into the supply zone, and now we're seeing price coming all the way down. Actually, at first it attempted to break below this previous low, but it failed. But there is a still possibility that price may want to come, for example, into this supply zone. So let me just zoom in a little bit more. There is a possibility the price may want to come all the way up into this supply zone right here. That's what I'm expecting to see. Price to come all the way up. So once price steps this supply zone, I'm gonna be looking for sales on the lower time frame, so we can ride the body closure below that 4 hour previous low. So that's basically it, right? So we're still, if we look at the medium time frame such as M30, we have this break of structure right here, but then price actually ended up coming a little bit higher to sweep liquidity right here. So we swept the previous high, and then it generated this push all the way down. So I'm expecting to see price pulling back a little bit more into this supply zone, and then we have that continuation to the downside, right? Simple. The outlook on USD CAD, we're bearish from the high time frame all the way to medium time frame. So that's what we want to do on the lower time frame. So now let's look at the last pair. So our last pair, I mean, as always, is going to be gold Shao USD. It's a nice pair, actually very volatile, but you know, it really does pay. You know, if you really understand gold, I mean, gold is really a good, is a very good pair. So I'm just gonna look at it from the daily. That's all we need as of now. So daily is still bullish. Gold is still bullish right here. We had this break of structure. Price came back to respect this demand zone, started to push up. So we started to see some sort of reluctance here for price to continue up. But this can be a possibility that, or this can be one of the the reasons why we have this reluctance is because we had this internal, for example, change of character right here, right? So we had this break and we have this demand zone and loads of imbalances below. So what I'm expecting to see is price to come all the way down into this demand zone, and then we have that major push to the downside, to the upside, right? So that's what I'm waiting. I'm looking at this demand zone right here, considering we had an internal change of character, loads of imbalances, and unmitigated demand zone. Now this is the daily. Now we drop down to 4-hour time frame, right? So, or we can use, let me just use the 2 hours time frame, so we can see exactly what's going on. We can see that just looking from the 4-hour, we had this nice break of structure. So we had a break, mitigation, break, price comes back, mitigate. So it's respecting all the supply zones, break of structure. This supply zone right here, right, was respected. We can drop down now to medium time frame, right? So on the medium time frame, we had this very nice some sort of change of character right here, right? We had a little change of character. This is like the M15 break of structure. Price started to pull back down and then came respected supply zone. We have this major push right here. Now this supplies this area, we can use the Fibonacci, for example, from this high all the way to this low right here, and we can see the price came exactly around 61.8. I was still expecting to see price coming into these zones right here, somewhere around 78.6 fib. But this zone right here, 61.8, actually is a golden zone. That's why when price came here, it had this huge reaction and then started to push all the way down. So there is a possibility that we may see price actually coming back into this zone right here, right? So we may see price coming back, pulling back into this supply zone, and then we have the continuation to the downside or the lower time frame. Okay, so that's it, guys, for the outlook. I hope you guys really smashed this week. I hope you guys have a really nice week. If you guys enjoyed the video, just do me that favor, smash the like button. Let me share this video to more people. And I didn't forget you guys, I'm gonna upload the videos this week. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Make sure to watch the other good videos that we have right here on this channel. If you're willing to join the mentorship, feel free. My contact is on the description box below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.